I'm Demetrius, I'm an interior designer, and I'm also a content creator. You may have seen me on Instagram where I share all of the tips, tricks, and resources for others to start living a more elevated home lifestyle. Before you begin selecting any furniture, I need you to set a realistic budget for this entire project because things can get expensive relatively quickly and we need a better understanding about where we're placing our money. When you're selecting furniture, always choose those investment pieces first and work your way down to the more affordable accessories. That's gonna ensure that you're allocating your budget to all the right things that work for your lifestyle. When selecting a sofa, I highly encourage you to source an investment quality sofa that will stand the test of time because we don't want to be buying a new sofa in the next couple of years. When you're selecting the fabric for your sofa, always assess your current home lifestyle. Determine if regular quality furniture works for you or if you need to upgrade to performance fabric that's more suitable for families, a more active lifestyle, and folks with pets. Also, when you're shopping for a sofa, be open to making modifications on your own. As for me, I really love the sofa that I purchased, but I did not love the height. So I did go ahead and order that sofa and I upgraded and bought some new legs. When it comes to sourcing your area rug, I always recommend an 8x10 area rug or even going up to a 9x12 if your space allow it. Those two rug sizes are perfect because we always want the front ends of all of our furniture to rest directly on top of the rug and not seemingly float beside the rug. So of course, always go for a bigger rug. And when sourcing an area rug, don't just stop there. Be sure to add a high quality rug pad because this is going to ensure that your rug isn't slipping around, and it's also going to give your rug that extra thickness and extra plushness that's going to make it seem much more high quality. The rug that I chose for my space was an 8x10 rug that is neutral, but it also has a very subtle pattern and it also enhances the overall aesthetic for my space. Next up, let's get into the coffee table. The coffee table that I selected for my space is a round coffee table with a really solid and rich marble top. The base is dark in texture and it also plays well and creates some contrast when it's sitting on top of the rug. When sourcing a coffee table, the shape of it is a personal preference, but I always suggest that you source a coffee table that sits at the same height as the seat of your sofa, and this ensures that the coffee table is easily accessible. Next up, let's choose a side table. You always want to ensure that the surface of your table is at the exact same height as the arm of your sofa, and this way, when you place an object on the side table, you reach directly over as opposed to reaching up or down. As I was sourcing my side table, the table that I absolutely fell in love with was not high enough for my sofa. So what I did was took inspiration from that exact table and built the DIY version that met my specific requirements. Taking on DIY projects are a really great way to cut costs with your projects, especially if you have the skills to do so. Now let's get into lighting for your space. When you begin to think about lighting in your space, don't just stop at a chandelier. You always want to layer your lighting to include floor lamps, table lamps, and wall sconces, because that's what's truly going to create that ambient and cozy vibe in your space. For my space, I chose a chandelier that was very modern and edgy, and I also wanted something that wasn't too busy. I wanted something that was very streamlined and would also bring in much more lighting. And you'll notice that I chose a chandelier that actually has 6 bulbs as opposed to 1, because that chandelier with 6 bulbs is going to make your space much brighter. And if it is too bright, you can always put your light switch on a dimmer and you can lower that lighting to suit your best needs. I also selected a floor lamp that paired well with my chandelier. I didn't want them to match, I just wanted a nice amount of cohesion. So I chose a floor lamp that I can lower and raise to any height, and I can also put it in any orientation that I like. Now we can get into one of my favorite elements of design, which is artwork. When you're choosing artwork for your space, always remember that artwork is subjective. What I love may not be what you love, so don't feel as though you have to stick within any parameters when selecting artwork. My only rule of thumb is ensuring that you absolutely love the artwork and that it speaks to you. And whenever it's within budget, I love to get artwork professionally framed. It simply elevates the entire look and feel of a piece. And if you're struggling with the scale of artwork for your space, I recommend that you grab some painter's tape and simply tape those dimensions out on the wall and see if it feels good in the space, because we always love to measure twice and buy once. As for artwork in my space, I chose to hang these 2 pieces that I painted myself above the sofa. And not only did I paint them myself, I built the floater frames for them as well. And in my living area between the window treatment and the garage door, there was a nice amount of wall space that was screaming for artwork. And so I pulled 2 pieces from my collection that had a ton of color and a great amount of black and white to truly tie the space together. Those 2 pieces specifically sparked a ton of joy for me, so I'm going to be really excited to see those hung there. Now let's get into window treatments. When it comes to window treatments, I love doing floor to ceiling window treatments. And I also love to mount the curtains from a ceiling mounted track to really add drama and height to a space. But if you're not a fan of drapery, there are many other routes that you can go. You could do roller shades, blinds, and even Roman shades. The options are limitless. My only advice is to do what works for you and your space. And if you choose to do blinds, there are many options to choose from. You can do the standard vinyl blinds, or you can even upgrade to the wooden blinds. The choice is ultimately yours, but I would say that the wooden blinds definitely elevate a space and make the space feel much more luxurious. As for window treatments in my space, I chose to flank each patio door with custom window treatments. And as for windows, I opted for the vinyl blinds just for privacy. After taking this class, I hope that you walk away with all of the confidence that you need to begin designing a space that's truly unique to you. Design doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be confusing. It's all about having fun with this.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.